my dog.
Fuck you.
My dog. I'm definitely the Sami Zayn around here too. My dog. Yo. So WWE's funny as shit. That's just what it is.
They are funny as shit, bro.
Like
they're a meme factory right now.
They're a meme factory. Like for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm referencing, I sent them a video of a WWE out of context. So it's like they had I mean, obviously in the story you understand Sami Zayn saying whatever he was saying, my dog. And except it's a no context video, so it's like little clips. So it'll grab the second soundbite and it's Sami Zayn, and it opens up with just my dog, and you can't help but chuckle because Sami is just that fucking funny.
Miz really in a serious promo against somebody. He goes, I don't shut up, I throw up, and when I look at you, I throw up. Ugh.
Was it I throw? I thought he said I go up or
grow. I don't know.
I go up, I don't glow really up know. Or whatever. And then he's like, I look at you, I throw. Yo, honestly, there's some funny shit. I mean, Seth Rollins has been a meme factory for at least the last 4 years.
Dude, the one of Omos just silently just cracking his knuckles.
Of course, there's Daniel Bryan's "Fist me, boys."
Yo, my god.
And it's not even the Fist Me Boys. It's not even the Street Profits reaction to Fist Me Boys. It's Kevin Owens in the back legitimately chuckling out his water.
So funny, dude.
And where he's just like, bruh.
What is this guy doing?
And even on the other side with at the time, CM Punk was still in AEW, and there was a karaoke car thing, and it's Britt Baker's CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Christian, which is just a weird group of people. But were they faces all the time?
I don't know.
Was Christian ever a face?
I don't think. Yeah, briefly when he first came in. I mean, they got to get that first pop when he comes in, right?
So,
I don't know.
And they're singing Punk's theme, and the lyric is like Mussolini, and Britt Baker goes, "Who's Mussolini?" And you see, of course, Bryan Danielson, of course, is the obvious one who would be perturbed by this.
Yep.
But the reaction from CM Punk, also gold of "This is why our country's in the state that it's in," is also fucking funny. CM Punk, obviously, very much.
We know where he stands.
We know where he is.
Yeah.
But the best part of the video being Christian in the background, still just singing Cult of Personality.
Christian's just like, I'm from Canada. I don't give a fuck.
Christian's like, I'm vibing, bro. I don't care about y'all.
Christian said, I could just go home.
Hi, I'm Emil. I'm Emil, the producer. Y'all don't hear from me anymore. I don't come on this show anymore. I'm on a Legends contract.
It's been one episode. Relax.
I'm on a Roman contract. I come when I want. I work when I want.
I mean, you missed one episode. We skipped a week, and then you missed the last one, and now you're here.
I haven't yapped about wrestling in a while on a microphone in a minute, so excuse me if I don't know what I'm doing.
Excited Emil means a good show. My name is Tyler as well, by the way. Welcome to Vacant Wrestling. We got a jam-packed episode for you because it's been a busy week, but also we have to catch up with the wrestling life of Emil. So take it away.
This is Emil's third show in 6 weeks. I was at Raw back on October the 4th or 5th. I was there a while ago. I was there for the Wyatt Six return. I was there for that episode, whatever date that was. That's when I was there. And then
I think it was the 5th.
Yeah, and then I was at NXT 2300 at the 2300 Arena, also known as the ECW Arena. And in 3 days, as of recording of this, is November 17th, November 20th, I will be very much on camera and front row for AEW Dynamite, as well as the Rampage that will be taped that same time. So you'll see me on 2 shows. If you look in the crowd hard enough, I'll be right there. It's about as on camera as one of us have ever been for a wrestling show. And it's also my first non WWE event. It's one of 3 events that I've done outside of the Philadelphia area, and it is one of 4 events that have not been in the Wells Fargo. So most of my events are in Philly in the Wells Fargo. But that being said, I've been seeing a lot of wrestling. So let's start with 2300, right? So we're going back a couple weeks in time. NXT is obviously cooking. I think the big conversation, of course, is the ladies. The ladies, all 10 of those ladies are massively over. They're massively good at what they do. Any of them could hold the belt. And that's just awesome for women's wrestling. This could have been a whole women's episode, low key, which is not something out of the realm that the man who made that arena famous would do. Being at the 2300 arena, first off, was fucking awesome. Seeing like the literal history. And I think I sent pictures to the group chat. If not, I'll send them later. And a really cool picture of seeing the ECW pay-per-views from, I want to say 96, 97. They had the big poster framed, which was super sick. It's literally a bar. Like I really didn't realize what kind of spot. It's like Paradise. It's literally probably the size of Paradise in Boston for New England natives. That's probably a really good comparison.
Yep.
Or the other one that's about that size as well. Like they're.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There are too many venues out here to name in Boston, at least.
It was awesome, man. The energy was on point. I was way in the back by the guy with the fat head. So if you saw that sign, I was probably 2 rows ahead of him. I may have slipped on camera at some point. I tried to say something snarky. I think I got one pop, so go me. But the episode itself was what it was. It was a nostalgia episode. It didn't push anything, which is kind of fine for somebody like me who isn't always tapped in with NXT, but I'm tapped in with some of the people that I like. And that's really what I had to say about it. I don't know what y'all said about it. Did y'all even talk about NXT 2300?
No, we didn't record that week. But for those that were curious, the main event of that show that Emil is referring to is the 10-woman tag match. The women in that match were Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Zarya, Jordan Grace, and Kalani Jordan. And they beat Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, and Fatal Influence. And that's Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix. Absolutely stacked match. Also, like, good for Jasmine Nix getting that big match spotlight. It's the whole point of the Fatal Influence was super interesting in that Henley and JC Jane have been in NXT for a minute, and Jasmine's coming up as like this big up and comer. She was one of like the next in line people, I believe, one of like the recruits from outside of wrestling entirely. And the whole premise is Fallon and JC's Fatal Influence are what will make Jasmine better. And that's literally what happened. I mean, she's like in this match now with the two of them. It's great. And yeah, the rest of the women cooked. So other than that, I mean, like Ethan Page and Ridge Holland beat Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley. That was interesting.
That was weird. Everybody in the arena was like, huh? Boo.
How did that even end? I forget.
So it ended kind of weirdly. Ridge Holland got the pin.
Yep, they're setting up Ridge and Trick, I think.
Which is just foreplay to get to another Ethan Page match. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. He's my twin, so.
But the he got pinned, kind of got up pretty quick, and then they just started beating him up. Like, they didn't look like faces, but that's okay because we weren't gonna cheer face activity anyway. But
yeah.
So they do all that, and then Bubba tells him to get the table. There's no table because continuity said that Ethan Page said there would be no tables.
That's my guy.
So conveniently not putting tables under the ring, which was a smart move. I love that. I love that made sense. I kind of didn't know about that, but I saw the clip later and they said that, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And of course, here comes the big pop. Here comes Devon. Testify. That was awesome.
Oh, my brother.
So that was pretty cool to see Team 3D.
They're using their TNA name. Wow.
They put Ethan Page to a table. I mean, what more do you want?
I want Ethan Page to not get put to tables.
The opening match though was fucking fire.
Yo, the hardcore match, Jada
and Lola. That was it.
That's interesting.
That was it. I was like, this is so again, like I'm not totally tapped in, and this is women's undercard of probably what would be in the women's North American title scene. So I definitely don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
That's fair.
But watching these two ladies, I was like, damn, they're good. Damn, they want to kill themselves. Damn, that's a brick.
They committed to the bit.
Damn, she kicked out of the brick.
Yeah, bro.
So
Dawn Marie.
I had a problem with that.
Oh yeah.
I had a problem with her kicking out of a brick.
The kick out after the brick.
I didn't like that. I didn't even really think about it. And then later again, I re-looked at the highlights because I was like, all right, let me see what I missed. I want to hear us. I want to see what was going on from a viewer's perspective. And And then I was reading through the comments, and someone was like, "How do you kick out of a brick?" And I went, "Word."
I actually didn't watch the match there, so I missed that ending. But damn, I didn't
She
realize
got hit
it was
with
a
the
kick out
brick,
there.
then she hit her with, I think, her actual finisher, and then it was
I
game
see.
over. But I was just
see.
like, in the moment, we just kind of popped, and we went, "Holy shit!" I tried to start a "you sick fuck" chant, but nobody bit.
Damn.
Which I was like, all right, whatever.
You're at 2,300. Come on, wake up.
I mean, a brick to the face, that's some sick shit.
That is some sick shit.
But she kicked out, so.
It's interesting they had Jada go over because right now, like, I don't see who she goes after. She's kind of the heel in this feud. So, like, she could, I mean, Fallon's a heel, and so is Roxanne. So, I mean, like, it doesn't, I don't know. I mean, they could rock with this for a little while before they move anywhere. They could do Jada and Sol Ruka. They could do Jada and Kalani. And continue this with Lola, obviously, until we get probably Julia or Stephanie to beat Roxanne, and we get maybe like Zarya to beat Fallon. You know? Then boom, we're off to the races.
That whole show is pretty stacked. The Nunzio cameo was also
I was
fun.
gonna say you had Nunzio as well.
The cross was fucking funny.
You had the multiversal mob boss match.
That was, I mean, all of that was fun. I like Tony D'Angelo. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
He's
like,
endearing, man.
It's not like
he's very endearing.
It's not even like totally memey. Like he's being serious.
Yeah.
But like
he's fully into the character. Like he's fully invested in it.
Either that's him or he really bought in and he sold me, man. And I don't know what it is because again, it's kind of serious. It's not really like this jokey memey character. Like
no, it's not.
Like you can make memes out of it, but like it's not. I wouldn't say it's memey. It's not the tribal chief. Like the tribal chief is a meme.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah,
like,
I'd say so.
And at its very base, it's a meme.
Yeah.
Actually,
Javon Evans and Wes Lee as well. I don't know if there was anything to say about that match.
We just kept chanting that boy bouncy. 'Cause that man can
flies, dude.
He's bouncy.
I saw him
I've never seen somebody
Heatwave.
bounce
It was
like that.
crazy, man. It was crazy.
Shifting away from
I actually got a show to talk about a little bit because I also went to a show since we last spoke.
You went to MLW?
No, I went to AEW Collision.
Ew.
So I paid $100 and I got fifth row tickets to AEW Collision, which is fucking crazy.
I'm on camera's side and I paid $80 for those bucks.
Yo, fuck you for that. I'm trying to do that.
Nuts.
Raw's coming to Boston in December. I'm trying to do that for that. Because right now I don't have a gig right now.
You're trying to do floor?
Yeah, I'm trying to do floor. I'm trying to do
fun
floor
spending
solo.
that bag.
Dude, we'll see how it goes. I might get lower bowl. We'll see. But it's Boston. It's also more expensive than other cities.
So tell us about Collision, sir. Give me the full AEW experience because I got to go in a couple days.
Oh, damn. I mean, it was definitely sweatier than the average wrestling show. I'd say it was one of the sweatiest I've been to. I've been to a few indie shows though, so I can't say I've been to that. I'm not sure if that was the sweatiest show I've been to. The indie shows get really, really, really sweaty sometimes. The local ones in particular. But honestly, I got sold on the Outrunners at this show. They're fucking hilarious. They're basically like a tag team where it's like their whole gimmick is like 80s Miami Vice style shit. Like think GTA Vice City and two guys that are like look like Hulk Hogan with mustaches. Dude.
Are they of the Caucasian variety?
They are. Dude, their names are Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum.
Dude, Turbo! I'm naming my kid that.
You son of a bitch! That's like one of their catchphrases, dude. It's great. They're fucking hilarious. You got to check them out.
Is this like Ring of Honor or is this like AEW?
No, this is AEW. So like, no, this was Collision. So like,
same thing.
They were in a match to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way Tag Title match that's happening at Full Gear. Because it's going to be a private party against 3 teams. It's going to be the Outrunners beat Top Flight, so the Outrunners qualified. And as well as they set up House of Black versus FTR, which I believe may have already happened. I think House of Black actually won. That was on the Dynamite after that. And then there's one more match, and I forget what the other match is, but the winners of those, I'll see if I can find it.
Here's what's nasty while you look that up. That private party won.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
That's
If they were gonna have any team,
what was the point?
Right, if they were gonna have any team beat the Bucks, they should have had the Acclaim do it.
Word.
And I wasn't even sold on the Acclaimed, but I was more sold on the Acclaimed than Private Party.
Either that, or they should have done whatever they should have done whatever the hold on, find the team because
so Private Party versus the Outrunners versus Kings of the Black Throne, which is Malachi Black and Brody King, and the Acclaimed, which you know who they are.
Malachi Black wants to go back so badly.
Nah, dude, I think Malachi likes where he's at. I really do.
Oh wait, that's the other who's the one that wants to go back? Miro.
Yeah, Miro wants to go back. Miro's been off TV for a minute.
He wants to go back.
He wants out. He definitely wants out. But yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, I'm intrigued by the tag title match. I got to see House of Black and FTR cut a promo together because they came out, like FTR came out after their match. They also have like a weird 80s Miami thing, so it's kind of like very similar to the Outrunners. It's really
They're more
weird.
serious though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Roderick beat the Beast Mortos. That was fine.
Oh yeah, Roddy.
Mariah May cut a promo on the Tron. Leo Rush teased joining the Hurt Syndicate. He was one of the guys that still had MVP's business card. I believe Max Caster also had MVP's business card for some reason.
Like that a lot.
Yeah, you like Max Caster there?
Into that.
I prefer Anthony Bowens out of the two of them.
Into
but
that. Max Caster's the star.
You think so? I actually
Max Caster's the star.
I kind of disagree.
Anytime I look at them and anytime I see them pop up on my Instagram or social media, yeah, no,
I like Bowens a lot more, but
it's always him. He's the star.
I get it. I think his rapping gets a little annoying sometimes, just a little bit, a little excessive. Not to say that I feel the same way about other rappers. Like, it can work. John Cena obviously was really good. Yeah, Chris Statlander beat a jobber. I didn't even catch who it was because I didn't even hear the announcer say their name. And then Mercedes came out and the crowd was dead. Like, just like silent.
Like crickets?
I mean, like, it was like obviously a little bit of a reaction, but like it was not a Sasha Banks reaction. It was different.
Like the when we saw when Luke Harper and them had the hammers.
Yeah. Kinda.
Okay.
Not quite that. Maybe a little more than that, but like
wow.
But also
that was bad.
But it also could be because the crowd was a lot smaller for the show, and I was going to mention that I went to the Amica Mutual Pavilion. It used to be the Dunkin' Donuts Center here in Providence, Rhode Island, and it's a small arena. It's not anything crazy. It's probably the size of like TD Garden's floor, or it's like the size of TD Garden's lower bowl.
Hold on.
And and like a smaller floor section. And so like the entire upper section, so like basically half of what TD Garden's lower section would be was tarped off. The entire upper section tarped off, and like half of the lower bowl, like the lower section tarped off.
Oof.
And yeah, the hard cam side was like basically the side the hard cam was sitting on, totally empty. Side it was pointed to had fans at it, obviously. Yeah, it was like seeing like the NXT at the Capitol Wrestling Center shit. It was weird. But that's also kind of probably why the crowd was dead. Peter Griffin was there, a guy that looks like Peter Griffin. That's like, I guess, part of AEW lore, was in the crowd. I mean, Family Guys are based in Rhode Island fictionally. So, yeah, they set up Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia at Full Gear for the TNT title.
Cool. I'll get the better promo of it this week.
Shut up. I'm excited about it though. I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much else. I mean, Nick Wayne got a win over AR Fox. It was actually pretty good. And then the main event, dude, we got to see all the stars of Collision here.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, we got to see the Death Riders. So it was the trios title match between Yuta, Pac, and Claudio against the Conglomeration. And it was all the less cool people in the Conglomeration. It was Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii. So Orange was not in the match. However, Moxley and Marina came out to attack, and then Orange Cassidy came out to even the odds. So that was pretty cool. But it led to the heels getting the win. And then there was a huge, like, big giant brawl to end the show. And then, like, Orange Cassidy basically was like, it cut a dark promo and was like, I wrestled a lot here. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. So thanks. Okay, I'm done. I'm out. And left. Because you know how, like, nonchalant he always is about everything. And then they had some ROH, but it was weird. For Collision in particular, they have ROH matches being taped before and after the show. It's really weird. Even though the shit, like, Collision isn't live. So, like, why do they need to have ROH, then Collision, then ROH? Why wouldn't they just do all ROH and then all Collision? I don't know. But it sucks because even with the story that they're doing with the Death Riders, the crowd was kind of still dead. People just aren't liking it.
So from what I can tell, it's starting to get a little convoluted, a little strange.
Because they don't, it's like they're progressing the story.
Big baby face.
Yeah. They progressed the story, but they still haven't fully explained like their motivations and like why they're doing this. And people will kind of need to know.
They're supposed to forget. They're just a takeover now.
It's weird.
The Shane McMahon contract fell through. They couldn't figure out what to name him, and they said, fuck it.
They decided not to.
They did not decide to go with Shane Brandon.
They pivoted from the Shane idea.
From Shane Brandon.
Shane Brandon.
Okay.
The new inside joke.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
it was a good show.
2300 was hella sweaty. That was...
yeah, that's
the sweatiest place I've been in so far, unless Dynamite wants to change my mind.
I will say the Collision show I went to was probably the worst show I went to all year. And it was it close? Not really. I enjoyed myself, but
as a show though, you would be like, no,
it wasn't. It didn't flow. Like the announcer was awkward. The announcer was like, it was a different announcer. It was a woman, and I don't know who she was. And it's not because she's a woman, so that can be put to bed. But I mean, she just was very low energy. Like when you're the announcer, when in between matches and stuff during the dark portions of this show that's taped, you got to be hyping up the crowd, right? And WWE's announcers do a really good job of that. They do all the sign segments, they do the games, they do all these different things to hype you up. And the AEW crowd, she's just looking around yeah, what signs do you guys have? Oh, yeah. Oh, Christian? Oh, yeah, you like Christian. It was so awkward, bro. I was like, what is happening?
However, you also don't like the SmackDown announcer right now and love Mike Rome. So is it a women thing? Is it?
No, because I love Samantha Irvin. I think she's the greatest wrestling announcer of all time, even though she hated it. Imagine if she actually liked her job. How much better she would have been.
She liked her job. I think
she said she didn't, though.
I don't think.
I'm fully joking. I'm just taking her words literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, totally.
Okay.
I mean, Lillian Garcia's back. She's still here. I was shocked that she's still around on WWE TV.
I'm excited to go to an AEW show. I'm very excited to.
I think you'll like it. Is it a Dynamite or are you going to full gear?
Yeah, it's a Dynamite.
Oh,
I was going to go to full gear, and honestly, depending on what my day's going like, and
you're gonna see
if there's a $10 ticket or a $30 ticket, I might go buy a cheap seat for full gear.
Bro, you could go see Big Boom AJ, dude. He's wrestling there.
Who?
Big Boom AJ.
Nope.
The Costco guys, the dad from the Costco guys on TikTok.
Nope.
How have you not seen that, bro?
Nope.
How have you not seen the Costco
Put me
guys?
on.
It's these this father-son duo on TikTok that went viral for reviewing Costco shit, and they're just brain rot TikTok stuff, and the whole thing is the dad's they're all every episode is they used to do there was the trend of we're Costco guys, of course we go get the new double chocolate chunk cookie or whatever. The dad is the one that's the double chunk chocolate cookie, if you've seen that anywhere.
So he's AEW lawyer now?
Yeah, he apparently the dad AJ was an indie wrestler in the Jersey wrestling scene. It's fucking wild.
Of course he was.
Yeah, and his son is Big Justice. Ugh. So it's him and his son. And he's I don't know. I forget what they call it, but he's try that food. And then the kid goes, the chicken bake? And the dad goes, oh, the double chocolate chunk cookie. And then they'll eat it and be is it a boom or a doom? And everyone said, and whoever they have on the show is it's a boom. And then they go, boom. They even have a song that's called Here Comes, or we bring the boom. No, we bring the boom. We bring the boom.
I was going to say Here Comes the Boom. That was definitely something with Kofi Kingston and
dude.
The other one, Evan
Bourne. Airborne.
Yeah.
Air Boom.
Air Boom. What a great name.
What a great name for a fart.
Let's.
I made plenty of air booms today after I had sushi over the last couple of days.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back. let's bring it back. So AEW. So from what I saw from the last Dynamite, which again, God, I don't have time for this shit. So
I feel that.
all right. That Adam Cole feud sucks.
Oh, the one with like Cole and Roderick Strong and MJF.
No, what's his fucking name? Fletcher?
Oh, Kyle Fletcher. I didn't know that was even a feud. I thought he was feuding with MJF.
That shit is bad.
That shit's cheeks.
That guy can't talk. He can't talk.
Nah. I didn't watch it, thank God.
I guess my other big, like, I'm excited to see John Moxley. I'm excited to see Mox in a place where I can actually like view as a fan. Like I did I don't know if I brought this up on this version of the podcast, but I've been to AEW backstage. I broke down one of their shows in Boston back when I lived there, as a crew member. Fun $50 to make.
Hell yeah.
And I did see Moxley from afar. I post, but I haven't seen him live in this sense, and I've never seen him this jacked. So I'm curious. I'm like curious to see Moxley and that storyline. But again, like they seem like they've lost the plot on what's going on with that.
Feel that.
And that's like that's supposed to be their biggest story right now. And like I'm supposed to want Orange Cassidy to win, even though I know Orange Cassidy ain't gonna win.
Or are you supposed to want Darby Allin to win? Like they don't. I feel like they don't even know who they want to make the star out of this.
They want me to know that Darby Allin is the goal. They know I want. They want me to want Orange Cassidy right now because Orange Cassidy is right in front of me, and we've also been clamoring for something with Orange Cassidy. Like he's like their other like you look at like the big faces and the big homegrown talent. You look at Orange, you look at MJF, you look at Darby Allin.
It's bloated. It's bloated right now on the upper card.
Those three are like the ones that you think of when you think of AEW homegrown talent. And so you want to believe in Darby Allin. You know it's not going to happen, but that's fine. It's a means to get John Moxley more heat. But I don't know where they go. Like, are we going to fight Eddie Kingston? Like, what's going on? Like, are we doing anything? Like, what are we doing? Like, we have a lot of faces. We keep killing everybody week in and week out. And it's like, to what end? Like, who's the elite standing there watching that I don't think ever probably got addressed again?
Yeah. True.
So
I don't really understand it, and like I really hope, especially now after it's kind of shit, the story's kind of shit the bed. I really hope that the elite doesn't try and be the heroes in all of this. You know what I mean? Like because that's what I worry about. I feel like they're gonna want to be like, you know, they're the last line of defense, and you know Death Riders, they take out everything, and then all of a sudden it's like the elite are like, we have no choice but to defend our company, and after being dickheads for the last 6 months, they're going to all of a sudden want to fight for the company and expect the fans to want to root for them.
Can the learning tree save us?
Hi guys! Dude, I'm here to save the company!
I can't wait to pop for him if he's on the show. Dude, I like him. I don't know.
It's such a meme.
We've talked about this before on the pod, but we over here at the Emil Corner love Chris Jericho right now.
He's a meme for sure. He
knows it, and he's so smart. If he wasn't such an asshole,
if he didn't always,
sometimes for real, he comes off like an asshole, especially when he
comes off like an asshole, and and it's not to be clear. It's not clear if he is the reason why, like if he's politicking himself to go over in situations that he shouldn't. I'm assuming not, but like, I just have a resentment for him because of that. You know what I mean? Because he's always booked to go over these talents in situations where he really shouldn't be going over these talents.
But it's gonna work for the learning tree when he loses.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
Do you think? I feel like I would like it to be a vehicle to push Big Bill. To be honest,
that could be cool.
I like Big Bill.
By the way, I know we're all over the place. The Dunkin' Donuts Center fits 14,000 people, as opposed to where they're gonna be in. On Wednesday they're going to be in a 7,000 people arena, which I think will feel a lot tighter. But
that's for a Dynamite though, not a Collision. That's so interesting.
That's how they should be. Realistically, they should be in those type of places.
No, they can put 5,000.
They can put 5,000 people in a room. They can do that.
Yeah, they can do that. That's very easy.
I wouldn't even think that's
very
hard,
easy,
especially with their prices. Like
I figured because also part of it is like Providence is a small city. And Collision is a very small show with a very small, pool of fans that have appetite to see it. It was weird though. One thing I will say was like, I think they allow third party like people to like go in the arena and like market for their shit, because like as we were walking out, I literally got like flagged down by this woman who like handed me a pamphlet about like an MJF meet and greet at a different event, like a third party company putting on an event to like meet and greet all different wrestlers, athletes, all that shit. And it felt kind of like I
like
don't
a
know.
Fanatic Fest ripoff.
Yeah, it doesn't. And also like WWE, you go and you just watch WWE. Nobody else is there trying to sell you shit. You go and watch WWE and then you leave. But this was interesting because it was like it took me out of it a little bit. You know, I like getting like. I like just being in the ecosystem. Like you walk in the arena, you're in the bubble. You know what I mean? And I walked out, and then like this lady's like, "Oh, do you like MJF? Do you like all these people? Like they're doing meet and greets in like 3 weeks at this random spot with this random company."
I feel that way every time they try to shove Wheatley American vodka down my throat.
Oh, that's just like a normal sponsorship, though. I don't want to be like bothered as I'm trying to leave because I was trying to catch my train home.
Wheatley, right here. This is the new face.
Wheatley.
This is the new face. Actually, I
So-
hate vodka.
Wheatley, so good. I drink it neatly.
So good. I don't drink it at all. I hate vodka, man.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
It's just business, though. I'll drink that shit.
Strictly
for money.
business.
Pay me. All right.
Strictly.
So, continuing in that vein, I actually want to do that one last. All right, let's talk about WWE. Let's really get into
Let's
it.
do
So
it.
there's
Let's
a
do it.
couple big things going on right now. There's a women's big match that's happening at
There is.
WarGames inside WarGames, which, duh. And then the more the
one that actually
more
has a
entertaining
story.
one,
The one that actually has a
is
story.
the Bloodline, which again, duh.
Duh.
A lot of duh, but that's okay. So the story right now, as being told by the Bloodline and everybody else who's not Samoan, aka Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
and that is it.
Sammy's family. Sammy's blood.
Sami Uso. On
Sami Uso.
the latest edition of SmackDown on USA, we saw the 5th member of the new Bloodline be introduced. Sammy and the Usos are on SmackDown in a backstage looking for people. They were looking for people and eventually come to the conclusion that they are indeed cooked.
Yeah. Because they ask, all right, I'm
they
jumping
don't have
over.
any
I'm
friends.
jumping over because between Raw and SmackDown this week, they spent the whole week asking all the people they fucked over. Why you need to find a 5th person? The first people you turn to are the people you fucked over first. It's kind of dumb. They went to Seth. Why the first person they go to is Seth Rollins, dude? The reason why he lost the world title was all because he did everything he could to stop Roman in the
Because
bloodline.
all the people they fucked over are like
All the best
people who are probably
Actually
capable of helping them win.
They could have asked Damian Priest. Damian Priest is completely removed from that situation, but then other things happened.
I like it. Bring some wepa. Bring some
Yeah.
wepa.
Bring some whippa. You
Bring
know,
some
Jay's got the connection with Damian.
Oh yeah.
It'd be interesting to see a crossover with like Damian and Roman
I like
to see
it.
how that works.
And then Rhea could just hang out
for no
like,
reason at all, but just
for no
because,
reason,
like,
but because
Gunther
it's
and
Jey
Damian
Uso.
can be on the Go Home Raw. Like everything
Like,
works
no,
out.
No
Everything works
no
out.
one needs to see Damian and Gunther at Survivor Series. We don't need it.
We can
Do
see it on the main
should-
event of Raw.
Should we have it? Probably.
Yes.
Let's be real. But do we
But-
need it?
Well, they built it in a way that we didn't. I didn't make me
Hold
want
on.
it.
So we know that
Yeah.
we can't have any wepa. That's
Yeah,
just not,
no whippa. But Solo's bloodline adopted a Samoan distant cousin, probably.
Samoan adjacent.
Distant cousin, probably.
And no, we're not talking about Samoa Joe, but that would be fun.
Yo, that would have been epic.
You're not a Samoan named Joe. Or
But
whatever
it's the Samoa Joe of this era, Bronson Reed.
So Bronson Reed comes in and crushes everybody. But before that, the story goes as it's playing live. Sammy and the Usos walk back in the Romans with the tail between their legs and go, "Sir, we are cooked.
Yeah.
You gotta make that call, bro."
Oh, I forgot to talk about the other people they went to. They also went to Braun and LA Knight.
None of the rest matters.
Well,
I mean, they said no, so they're still cooked.
because they both had beef with both dudes.
And Roman is told that he's got to make a call. Okay. And so music hits,
following.
blah, blah, blah. We engage in the always fun pre-match shenanigans of a brawl, which ends with Bronson Reed pulling up and taking him out, which at first I went for why, then I learned he was Samoan, then I learned he was funny with
Still
them.
doesn't make sense.
But also, who cares?
I do.
It is. I mean, nothing was gonna make sense at this point.
No, I mean, like, what would have? Let me talk about the good first, or would you prefer I talk about the bad first? What do you want? Because you don't like when I talk about the bad, but I have feelings.
Go ahead. Let's feel.
So,
Mr. Roberts.
Let's talk about the bad news first before we talk about the good news, because in the end of it, what I'm watching, what is on TV at the end of the day, all the shoulda, woulda, couldas aside, what I'm watching on TV is still entertaining, right? But like, I don't see the point in forcing a 5v5, bringing in people that are completely not needed for this story to play out. I understand Seth and Bronson being in a cage is pretty cool, in 2 rings, whatever, or Bronson generally, the idea of it. Come on, like, Bronson rejoining, who's going to be on the other side, right? It's got to be Seth. And I'm not, that's just like pure guessing. It's got to be Seth.
So the easy answer is, of course, yes, Seth. Seth is the easy answer.
Probably going to be Seth.
It makes all the sense in the world. Like, Seth's not doing anything at Survivor Series otherwise. He could take off.
He could. But he's taken off a lot.
Fair enough.
And he beat Bronson, so he should be on TV to kind of ride that momentum from that win.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at it. Seth is the obvious option. Now, I've heard some other names being thrown around. More specifically, the name that we hear that's being thrown around that is less obvious, which I love.
Oh, I thought you meant the other one.
Is CM Punk.
That could be interesting. That genuinely could be.
And because remember, there's a ceasefire on Punk. And that was everybody's first inkling is, well, wait, there's a ceasefire. They can't touch him right now.
And plus the connection to the wise man.
And the wise man, which of course then brings in Heyman, because Heyman, so that is a really cool idea. It also marks a year, not quite to the day, of CM Punk coming back, which is also just nice little trivia. It's also, that would be 13 years, again, not quite to the day, of CM Punk's title reign beginning, which started the 434-day reign. So there's also... So Punk has some connections to Survivor Series, and it's also really interesting that he's not around.
Yeah, very, very weird, especially after all the talk of going after Gunther, And
he's not being even mentioned.
Yep.
Which is also
I'm cool with him taking time off after the Hell in a Cell, but
me too.
All signs seem to have pointed to him going after Gunther afterwards. But it sounds to me like they're just going to push it off until he's back. Signs
don't really play in CM Punk's favor, but that actually may be the point.
Yeah.
And I like that slightly more than Seth, but it makes even less sense than putting Seth in.
I just feel like this should have been a 4v4.
It probably should have been. I mean, there's the Heyman connection with Punk, and there's the Bronson connection with Seth. What do we want? What makes more sense? If we're trying to progress, we probably have to put Seth.
Seth.
If we're trying to have some fun, bring in Punk. There's a third option to this that I don't know about.
Cody.
Ugh, no.
I know. That's why I'm like, but I'm like,
we're done. They said we're done.
Oh, I agree.
We're done.
I'm with it. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to fuck around and just throw Cody Rhodes in there. But at this point, they have Bronson. I don't see anybody else but Seth Rollins being in that. Otherwise, why would you throw Bronson in? Besides the Samoan tie, they don't really acknowledge that. I hope they do, though.
I think they will.
I think they will as well. But
because they'll be like, hey, he's Tongan. He's not Anoa'i, but he is
What if they
Samoan.
did a ceremony on a SmackDown where, like, you know how the Bloodline is like...
Bro, they just keep doing ceremonies that don't go anywhere.
No, but hear me out. The beginning of the Bloodline, the very beginning, joined 2 big Samoan dynasties together by a blood pact. What if they had Bronson come in and do a blood pact with Solo?
I'm into it.
And then we can have the Bronson Reed...
The Bronson Reed
Reed branch of the bloodline.
Oh,
we got the Anoa'i.
Does he have any brothers or siblings or cousins in wrestling? Can we Google that?
I have no idea.
I don't think he has any family in wrestling.
I really don't think
we don't need more. There's enough, and there's like 5 that are still coming.
But they could just do that as like a kayfabe thing. I don't think they will, but they could. However, let's get to the good though, because there's plenty of good in this. I think,
and
unless you want to be negative again.
And it won't be Rock.
It's not going to be Rock. I'm kind of glad.
Rock is showing up, though.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think he shows up after the match.
Again.
I think he shows up after the match. Let's not get into that, because Yusuf and I got into it a lot last episode. But
no.
Yeah, but the good part, the dynamic of Seth now, because the bloodline itself, the OG bloodline, they've pretty much smoothed over all their issues. They are the most on the same page that they've been, right? They were stepping up to the bloodline 4v4 and taking it to them. Roman and Sammy were standing tall. Roman gave Sammy the nod. He gave him like the acknowledgement, and then Bronson came out and fucked it all up, right? Seth is now the guy that they know they need, and now they need to court Seth. I will say it's a lot of courting. This should have been an easy one.
However, it does again show that Seth is once again not only Seth is always willing to do business, company man, which is not out of range for his character. We know that. I don't feel like this is a company business though. Personally, but we do know that it's both on and off screen. He's more than happy to. He's willing for business, and the business may not necessarily be the business, but the business is.
Working with people he doesn't, and working with people he doesn't like. He's no stranger to that.
He's willing to play the game.
Time to play the game. Ha ha ha!
You saw him at whatchamacallit?
Bro, don't spoil.
No.
We'll get to that. No, man, but like, I don't know, like, damn. I just like Seth being involved. To me it kind of nullifies the chair spot at WrestleMania 40.
It's frustrating.
It definitely makes that feel a lot less impactful. That Roman chair shot that ended it all. Yep.
Super annoying.
But I agree. Maybe Seth and Roman can play on that. Maybe we'll play on that during the match. Maybe it'll build to something. Seth standing side by side with Roman after like just saying the other day, like 4 days ago or whatever, like
he said, "Fuck off, mate."
He said, "I'll never team with the Bloodline." And here he is 3 weeks later.
Technically, he said he wouldn't
probably teaming with the Bloodline.
If we're going with like quotables, he said, "I will never team with Roman Reigns." He didn't say nothing about the Bloodline.
Well, he's teaming with Roman Reigns, so that defeats that.
You could play technicalities.
I guess.
I don't love it. I'm just trying to look for the.
He could be like Jay. He's doing it for Sammy.
There you go. Or he's doing it for Jimmy.
Yeah, for BJ, Big Jim.
Big Jim.
BJ.
What a dumb fucking name, but actually it is fucking great. Like it's great and terrible all at the same time.
Yeah, dude. I feel
so. That's what's going on there. Yeah. To kind of steamroll as we talk about options that will not happen. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton.
Thank God. They didn't need none of that needed to be involved.
None of them men needed to be for that.
Their story can stand on its own.
Leave it alone. Stop touching it.
Their story can stand on its own, and it is.
Cody was ready to fight Nick Aldis.
Well, first Kevin Owens, then Nick Aldis, which once again,
where's that continuity? Can we find this man?
This has been one of a few times that there has been palpable tension between Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis.
Cody Lander.
I am very much down for Cody to be the one to goad Nick Aldis out of retirement. Whether he's champion or not.
One day.
I really think that they're going to do it.
No time soon, but one day. I really
do. But I love that, regardless, I love how Cody acknowledges that Nick Aldis was a wrestler before this, because we're not dumb. We know that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis used to be wrestlers. Like, we're not dumb. We know that's a thing. So it's great that they constantly are playing on that, and I think they're doing it on purpose to leave the door open for an eventual in-ring return.
Leave the door open.
I'ma leave the door open. Yeah, dude.
For Nick Aldis.
But yeah, so basically like Aldis was just like, we have to deal with it internally. And I'm like, oh fuck, are we gonna bring Triple H out here again?
No.
Yeah, but luckily it didn't happen.
You're such a liar.
Yeah, I don't want the spotlight. Adds himself to the executive producer credit. He got
a big head after WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
He got a real big head after that went well.
Oh man. I mean, as he should, to be fair, But
Little name redacted.
Little name redacted. That's really it. There wasn't a whole lot of movement
there. But there was really no movement. Again, I think the goal.
I think they're just saving it for.
The goal is to announce the KO Cody Rhodes match, which will probably be at Survivor Series, because nobody wants to not have Survivor Series without Cody Rhodes.
You think so?
It could be at Saturday Night's main event, and Cody takes a show off.
I think that's where they go.
Weird. I think that's weird.
I agree, but I think that's where they go.
Because I don't think Cody's taking a show off yet.
He hasn't. I think WWE. Here's the thing.
But they do need to
I think-
understand that we're getting bored of how they're ending these shows.
But I think that's why they're doing it, because people are complaining that everything it's rinse and repeat with Cody. I disagree.
It is.
No, I disagree. It's
To an extent.
I agree to an extent in terms of ending the pay-per-view that way with Cody standing tall, but like at the same time, like they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they constantly book Cody in the main event. They don't have to do that all the time. Then they don't. Sometimes they put him in the opening match, but they never have him in the middle, you know? They always have him in one of the two spots.
Big primetime spot. You need him in a big primetime spot.
That's fair. And he's this era's John Cena. Whether we like it or not, he is. I like it. I think he's a great John Cena.
Hulk Hogan.
figure. You think he's Hogan more than Cena?
Like
I don't think he's Hogan.
no, like, because Cena wasn't, like, you haven't seen a babyface, like, and people, like, the wrestling fans that are about 10 years older than us, 10 or 15 years older than us, those podcasts, they all mention all the time. It's like, yo, haven't seen a babyface for real like this since the 90s. Like 90, like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior era.
I suppose. I mean, Cena was more for the kids.
I mean, yeah, like where they're just universally cheered. People, HBK was a dickhead. Not everybody got behind Brett. Not Diesel.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was an anti-hero.
Roman took a while to warm up too.
Stone Cold's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Rock's an anti-hero.
It's true.
Triple H as a babyface is an anti-hero. Cena at points is an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like
that's
in
fair.
some of, like, even like 15 till now, he's not a hero. He's just, he waxes everybody on the microphone all the time.
It's true.
Hey, that's not a hero.
Well, just verbally pantses people.
Like,
never seen people do that like Cena, honestly.
So I mean, there's really hasn't been like this true babyface, and so it's
a good point.
So I get it, and it's nice because everybody wants to believe in something good, as Sam Roberts said, which is
For
kind of
sure.
how the Cody Rhodes story works.
And Roman doesn't need the title. You know, you have plenty of stories you can tell with Roman in the bloodline without the title involved.
Currently, no. But I mean, the way that's looking, that's either got to fizzle or got to completely pivot and do some.
I don't know where they go after the War Games match either for the bloodline. I think I don't know what they do.
I mean, we've been fantasy booking this since Mania since April 7th. Like, this is we're making it to the point of what we needed to make it to.
Honestly, it was the SmackDown after WrestleMania that Solo came out and brought Tama Tonga out and turned on Jimmy and started this whole thing.
So for real, like we're there, and after that, who knows? As far as the Cody storyline, we're trying to figure out when this KO match is, and
I think it's Saturday night's main event.
There's options, but they're not. They're moving. Not lackadaisical, but they're slow.
I think they're trying to. They're doing what you like to do, which is not have every story play out on a PLE or on a TV show. You know, have some off weeks. Cody's been on every TV show and every PLE since WrestleMania. You know, give him a break.
Slow cooking.
Yep. And this whole thing with KO,
they could turn the crop out up to like 7 though instead of 4.
They could. Cody's been kind of growing the intensity though, but you know, people might argue that that's the same old edgy Cody.
Big turn.
Big turn.
Big turn after Mania. Big turn.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think there's still plenty of money to be made, but fair.
So that's all fine and dandy over in that section. In the world title section, Tyler doesn't like it. It's not
that I don't like it. I'm just making a comment.
This weird scared angle is super interesting.
I actually like it.
Where like, and Damian Priest bringing in some real life conversations that have been going on, at least around the internet, of has Gunther lost some of that now that he's won, and now that and some people would say yes. I think I said on a pod not a month ago that I was like, he's starting to lose it. Yeah, he's starting to lose it. All that big energy coming off that IC title win, or loss is really starting to fade. He won his King of the Ring, and that was cool. He won his world title, and that was cool. But even in between those, there was like this lull for him as we're waiting to get there because he can't lose, but they don't want him to beat anybody, so they just didn't do anything with him.
I mean, he deserves some time off, too, after Mania, after he lost that title. It made sense to have him off TV for a minute, I thought.
But the aura is it could be falling, and I do appreciate that they're open enough to mention it this early. Like that's super interesting to me. It's not like him losing and going on a losing streak or anything. Like they're mentioning this now as he's should be the hottest that he's ever been.
I think part of what WWE also does too is when they acknowledge people's like gripes about the current product and incorporate it into the storyline. And I think that's a great way.
Fast.
Yeah, it's a great way of showing them like, hey, we know what you're thinking and you're wrong, and here's why. And they use the story, they use the doubt and the discourse of the fans to drive the narrative of the story. Like Damian said that Gunther's vibes started to fade since SummerSlam, and that he's been especially insecure after losing to Cody at Crown Jewel. And then Damian was like, why don't you fight me right now? And like Gunther's face was like nothing like I've ever seen. Like he was like, I would do anything to not do that right now, to not square up right now. Then it's interesting as well because then Ludwig Kaiser came out, started talking about Priest and calling him street trash, and Gunther stops Kaiser, and there's a brief moment where they're like, it's tense. It's like a very tense, like, what are you doing right now? Like, what is happening? Like, Gunther is scared, but he also respects Damian. It's very interesting, and I think that for Gunther, at first I didn't like it, right? But here's the thing, like, there's only so many stories you can tell with the character that Gunther is as this unstoppable, unbeatable monster who is a wrestling purist, right? Like there's only so many stories you can tell with it, and he's already been the literal longest champion with the Intercontinental title of all time. Like we've had plenty of those stories play out where someone comes up, they want to challenge him, he's like, no, I'm the best in the ring. Ricochet, Sami, Damian, any of those. The way he says people's names is hilarious. But we've seen that story play out so many times. This story that is about him being scared, him being damaged, his ego being shot, him not being the same since he's lost an edge, I think is all just going to be a way for him to bounce back with a win over Damian, and then we have a reinvigorated powerhouse monster Gunther at the top of the card. All it is just using the fans' doubts to drive the story and keep it going.
I love that, and I like that breakdown because it basically says, fuck you, you're half right, but also like, shut up. I like that. It's a subtle way, and Triple H has always been great at kind of telling us to shut up, in a creative manner. I think way back to the me and my friend Mark promo. Which is one of the greatest lines I think I've ever heard in my life.
Me and my friend Mark.
Wait, he goes on this rant for like 2 minutes about social media, and everybody's talking about it like, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm going to tweet my displeasure. I might send a Vine. Like it's hilarious, and then it just ends. And if that doesn't work, then by God, me and my friend Mark, we're going to stop watching.
Me and my friend Mark, we're going to stop watching.
Dude, Triple H was on one that night.
Bruh, that whole gimmick was just him like taking out all of his actual frustrations on the fans.
That's the same night where Stephanie McMahon gets arrested for slapping Brie Bella.
Yep.
The same episode.
And
in that same episode, that's where the Rent-A-Cops come in and arrest her. And Triple H, as they're pulling her off, he's like, what is this, a hybrid? You must be proud of yourself.
It sucks because on paper, that era should have been so good, but it was so bad.
No, that was a great segment.
It was not a great era.
So Triple H has always been, the crux of this is Triple H has always been really good at telling the fans,
yes,
shut up.
We know what we're doing. Let me land the plane.
And now it's him doing now it's actually him doing the writing, so he can literally tell us to shut up, and he can literally drive where the creative is going, not just, hey, can y'all give me a microphone for 10 minutes and I'll weave this into the story that you're telling. Like it's his story now, so he gets to tell us to shut up, and it's great. I think that's good logic. Using our own doubts and probably not even pivoting, they're just weaving us in. Where it's like, hey man, once again you're wrong, and we've been wrong this entire time. We were wrong about The Rock. Kind of. We've been wrong. Like, let him cook.
Exactly. I think this feud is also going to be a really great way for Damian to try out a new approach with his character. Since since this feud with Finn Balor ended, they kind of like had this whole thing where he's kind of had a new edge since, while Gunther's lost his edge, Damian's kind of gained an edge since this win over Finn Balor in their feud. His theme is new. Apparently, I heard that they recorded the theme. So I don't know if you saw the rumors that like when they were going to can Def Rebel, that they were going to start bringing in more legit artists to do wrestling themes. His theme was remixed with guitar from the guitarist from Slayer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now it's like super, like way more like gritty, like just super distorted guitar. And it's the same song, like the All Rise for the Outlaw, it's whatever. But the way he started talking with Gunther, he started using more of his New York accent and talking like a New Yorker, and he just feels so much more natural in that character. Like when he's like, if you stepped up to me, Gunther, I'd drop your ass. Like I was like, God damn, dude, he's giving like Razor Ramon type swagger with it. I'm a big fan of it.
As long as he doesn't lose like what still made him cool, like I'm all for like characters that like are like, yo, I'm ready for you. Like I'm not this guy you're gonna walk over. That's cool. Don't lose what made him cool though. He was always kind of like, I know I like him in this big brother role for people, or like this like pseudo father figure or whatever. Like I like him in these kind of mature adult role. Because I see people like this in my life. Like it's people that like I resonate with it because it's people who I have in my life who do those kind of things for me, while just also like laughing at all of us young people and how stupid we are, like with him and Dom. Like that's so I don't want him to lose that either. To me, that's what I think made people gravitate towards him, because they already knew he was a badass.
Yeah.
So find that middle ground. You could put him back with Jay again. That would always be a good time.
You definitely could. I enjoy it very much. I think I agree with you. I like that he has that kind of like nurturing approach to him, because he always wanted a family in WWE. He had it with Judgment Day. He doesn't anymore. He's trying to find a new family kind of deal. And also I like how he's very honorable and very noble. Like he's not shy to give someone their flowers, to tell someone, hey, you're one of the best, man. Like, and that's so refreshing in somebody that he's a babyface, but he's not real. It's not really like he's like white meat babyface like Cody. It's like he's just being himself toward heels. Like he's just channeling his anger toward heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just works.
Yeah,
it works.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of Damian now. He's getting better and better by the week. The fact that they put him back against Gunther for the world title, I think the way that, like, yes, it wasn't nurturing, it wasn't respectable with Gunther this time, but that's because they've already feuded. They have that backstory. He's picking up where they left off. He's like, Gunther, you're out here acting tough. You were out here acting tough. You're not now. But listen, you weren't even you were champion off a fluke. And it's once again another match for Gunther to right another wrong in his push. Right. This has been correcting all of the wrongs that Gunther's had so far. He beat Damian by a fluke. He beat Randy Orton by a fluke. He had to fight, and he lost to Sami Zayn clean. So he had to get that win back over Sami. He had to correct the wrong that was the botched finish at King and Queen of the Ring by beating Randy. And now he's going to get the win over Priest clean in the ring. It's going to be great. And all the while, Priest is going to get some reps in and continue to develop into like a massive star. Big fan.
Speaking of things that, however, that we could say suck and we actually don't need to be told shut up and let them cook, this women's War Games match.
Yeah.
This is a mess.
I want to like it given the names in the match.
So Bianca and Jade beat Liv and Raquel, which I don't love, don't hate. I think it's more interesting to start moving them into a tag title scene, considering that nobody can challenge fucking Liv right now. No one has that credibility for me.
No. Well, EO's number one contender. They just aren't doing the match yet.
Then we have the Nia and Tiffany move. Why?
Nia and Tiffany have been feuding with Liv and Raquel during the build to Survivor Series.
Why?
That's about it.
Why? But there's still a brand split. It's okay. It's Survivor Series. I got it. No one cares.
Well, sorry, I misspoke as well. They've been feuding with Liv and Raquel, but also they were in the same boat as Liv and Raquel. Like Nia and Tiffany were similar to Liv and Raquel. Two heels, one's the champion, one's their sidekick, and they're going after the tag titles.
Yawn. an excuse to not have a brand split right now, which is fine. It's November.
I mean, we have Jay and Sammy on SmackDown and Raw every week.
Everyone's trying to chill out until Christmas. Like that's really where we're at right now. Like,
we're
it is
trying
what
to vibe.
it is. We're vibing till Christmas. No one cares until we hit Royal Rumble, which then it really doesn't matter. So it's fine. We'll figure it out in April. Cheers to the brand split. Thanks for playing. So Nia and Tiffany come out, and then Naomi and Io come out. Naomi is interesting. Io is obvious. And then blah 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 blah. Fight.
Well, Naomi is allied with Bianca and Jade. They're the big three. They're already kind of a group-ish. They're just like very loosely associated. What I don't understand is both teams don't make any fucking sense. Let me tell you why. On the face side, you now have Bianca, Jade, Naomi, and Io Sky. Tell me what's wrong with that. Do you know?
I didn't they just fight like 6
Io
months
and
ago?
Bianca spent like all of last year feuding.
Weren't they just in a whole damage control match thing?
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
Okay, just making sure. I think we saw that.
I mean, Io faced Bailey, but like Bianca and Jade and Naomi faced Kairi, Asuka, and Dakota. Dakota returned as well, so that's pretty cool.
Shout out Dakota.
Welcome back. But yeah, and then on the other side, you have Nia and Raquel and Liv on the same team after they just had a feud going into Survivor Series. And like you could argue, oh, it was a one-off match, it was exhibition. Doesn't matter. They still fucking hated each other in that build. That makes no sense for them all of a sudden to want to work together.
But I get it.
They didn't like each other. They really did.
I mean, it's heels being heels to other heels, which doesn't.
I suppose.
And nobody turned super heel this time.
No one. There was no Dom to turn super heel this time. But yeah, man. So currently, one member. Each team still needs one member.
Who cares?
I think it's going to be Bailey and Candice LeRae. Because Candice LeRae's been kind of associated with Nia and Tiffany lately, and Bailey.
That's because they killed her partner.
And Bailey's a missing piece in this match. Oh, yeah. I think it's Bailey, and Candice probably. I don't know who else it could be. I mean,
again,
I don't know when Rhea's supposed to be back because she had that busted eye socket.
Unless she somehow pulled it together, and they're gonna save it, which would be super fun for the pop. But
I guess you could still do Candice on the heel side. I don't know.
At that point, you can do anybody on the heel side.
Throw Chelsea on the heel side
again.
Please.
So this sucks. We don't need to let this cook. This is by far the worst.
Oh, and if Bailey's on the face team, that's even worse because she just had a blood feud with fucking Io.
So this is the worst booked.
Yeah.
That the women have faced in quite a while, but I mean, like, it's bad booking because it's bad booking, which is nice comparatively to it's bad booking, and their women. Like, it's just bad booking.
Yeah, it's bad booking, but the match I think will still deliver.
So
regardless of who the fourth person is on either side. This is
not Triple H's shining achievement. This isn't number 3 or 4 on the list for that matter either. But
I don't know what his worst. I can't tell you what his worst booking decision is.
This might be his worst so far. This might be one of his worst.
I don't know. There was some calls that should have definitely went the other way. But I don't know. We got some other stuff in the women's division for once.
But something much cooler and much more fun to talk about is the Women's U.S. title tournament. So Nick Aldis, again, gets the wonderful pleasure of announcing the first ever main roster women's undercard title.
Fuck yeah.
Which is fucking beautiful. 3 claps for them. Because these women have been working way too goddamn hard.
Absolutely.
For the last 30 years to get a title other than the women's title. Of course, now things are a little bit different because there are 2 of them, because there are equivalents. Blah.
Well, for now, they haven't said anything about the women's IC title. They just have the United States for now.
I meant between the WWE and the world.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So shit is a little different, as there are 2 prestigious women's titles as opposed to 2 non-prestigious women's titles.
Yeah.
AKA the Divas Championship. But yeah, it is fine. So since for the last 20 years or so, women have been working towards this in wrestling. So this is awesome. Little frustrated that NXT got it right first, but I think NXT was at this point the trial run.
NXT is, to me, anytime they do something on NXT, I'm like, okay, they're gonna do this on the main roster if this goes well.
Trial run.
Absolutely. I'm cool with it.
Fine. I find it like if I was like somebody like Natalia, for instance, I would be like, bruh.
Yo, Natalia would be a great women's United States champion.
If I was somebody like Natalia who's been there for forever, or who else has been there for forever at this point?
Not a whole lot of people. I mean,
Bailey's been there for forever, but like Bailey doesn't need this.
Michin probably as well, been there forever without recognition. Naomi, you could argue, even though she went to TNA.
So Naomi or Natalia, I would should definitely look at this title and be like, bruh. They should have looked at that North American title and been like, bruh.
Lyra Valkyria, I think.
Where the fuck
also
is ours?
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Well, now they have one. Naomi
so now they got one.
And Michin.
Well, Natalia does too. Natalia's still there last I checked.
She's on Raw,
her contract is running out though.
Yeah. It seems to me that for now it's going to be, I don't know. So they announced
side note,
tournament.
I think she wants to leave. So they announced a tournament.
Probably.
Let's get making our way back to the plot.
SmackDown exclusive right now.
Okay, well, whatever. The point is, the title being on with a bunch of SmackDown people and Naomi being in it is a huge flag for me. That's a flag.
Why is that a flag?
We've been not a red flag, just a flag.
I'm just asking.
So what pops me is that Naomi's been brought back to take a lot of L's.
Yeah,
a lot of L's. I've been kind of going through this point for a while.
She just lost to Nia for the title too,
and we need her to. She needs a W. Like I don't want her to feel like she got brought back for enhancement. That's number one, because she could leave very easily. And I don't think Triple H would have a problem with that either. And that also scares me, because she's great.
Yeah.
So if anything, this should not only be her consolation prize, but her thank you for her service and all that she has done for literally the last 15 years. Or I guess maybe it was 12. But still, like that's a long time. Like,
even with a little excursion in TNA as well.
She took a little excursion and still didn't win anything. So
she was the women's champion.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Yeah, she was.
So she deserves that big American win. For sure. And if it's not going to be, if you don't want to put her in a world title picture, then it's got to be this.
I agree. I think it should be a great tap. So far it's a bracket of 4 triple threat matches, and the winners of the winners of 2 of those will face, the winners of the other 2 will face, and then the winners of those matches go on to the finals for the Women's United States Championship at Saturday night's main event. Bailey has won her triple threat over Candice LeRae and B-Fab. B-Fab cooked, by the way. B-Fab looked great in that match. I was very impressed. But Bailey advanced. We have 3 more matches. One of them is Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Blair Davenport. I would go Chelsea out of that. You could have Bianca lose because of the War Games people clusterfuck brawl. Jade Cargill, Michin, and Piper Niven. You could have Jade win just to further the narrative with Jade and Bianca, kind of being at odds. I could see Piper winning as well, maybe, or me. Honestly, any of the women in that could win. And then the last match is Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Elektra Lopez. My pick to win this entire tournament is Naomi as well. I would agree.
It must be.
I think we need to have a good established star to win the title first. I think that's the trend that we're seeing with a lot of these titles being introduced in wrestling generally, is they get a champion that is main event level to kind of put it on the map and be the first champion. Like they did it with the world title with Seth Rollins. They did it with, honestly, I hate to say it, but they did it with the AEW world title with Chris Jericho. And I could see WWE doing it with Naomi right now. I could see them with Bailey as well, but I don't think Bailey needs it. I think that Naomi needs it more. You could have Naomi, Chelsea Green in the final, have Chelsea beat Naomi down the road in a rematch, and then have Michin take it from Chelsea. And then boom, everybody wins. I'm cool with that.
Yep, that's kind of the landscape right now, yeah?
I'm cool with it.
It's kind of the landscape right now. Do you mind if we pivot entirely?
Sure, go for it.
So there was this little thing on Netflix this weekend.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the biggest fight of all time that turned into the biggest buffer fight of all time.
The biggest fight with servers.
Of course, we're talking. This is not a boxing podcast by any means. This is not a UFC podcast by any means.
I know nothing about it.
Tyler doesn't watch UFC at all. I don't follow, but love to watch. And then neither of us follow boxing. And I turned on this pay-per-view.
I was bummed I missed it.
This PLE,
PLE.
This PLE on Netflix, and I immediately went, damn, I want to watch UFC more than this. I've realized that I don't love boxing. I want to do a quick thing because I did not. There was a few things, right? So this was pretty much universally what everybody was doing on Friday night. I don't think you could really do anything else. Like if you went out, you saw this. If you were with friends, you were probably watching this. If you were by yourself, you might have been watching this. Like there was, or you were reading about it on Twitter or whatever else. There was no way that you weren't hip to what was going on Friday. Now, let's break this down a little bit. Boxing fans were definitely watching for Mike Tyson. That's fairly obvious. I mean, like most of the boxing fans are above the age of 45. And for that matter, have probably watched a real Mike Tyson fight, which is very cool. So good for you on seeing a GOAT, along with MJ.
Hell yeah.
Good for you. For people in the millennial Gen Z area, the 92 to 2002, right? Us people. We're not only probably watching for Jake Paul and to see him get hit, but for Tyson, who we've never really experienced Tyson truly in his prime either. So I thought watching that was cool for me personally as somebody who is a fan of combat sports. And then some other groups of people that we're probably watching are wrestling fans. And so that's why we're bringing this up onto a wrestling podcast. The reason specifically being that we know that Raw is going to Netflix in January, right? That's probably the biggest outside that's probably the biggest entertainment version of wrestling news that we've had for the last year, which is again super interesting. So I was watching this not only as a combat fan, but I was watching this as a wrestling fan, curious to see how this was going to look going into January. So what I learned is that Netflix cannot handle this at this current moment. However, I would probably venture to assume the people watching live on a Friday night a Mike Tyson fight are not the numbers that are going to be live watching Cody Rhodes on Raw. I think that's a fair thing to say.
1,000%. 1,000%.
That's not a knock to pro wrestling. We're hot as we've ever been, but
that pay-per-view transcended multiple circles in the world.
Be for real. Like just take it at what it is. Like it's still phony. It's still phony wrestling. Let's call it what it is.
Raw's average views are about 4 million. I think I want to say somewhere around there.
That's awesome.
4 million maybe.
So with all of that being said, let's talk about this as wrestling fans and not combat fans first.
Okay.
As wrestling fans watching this presentation, it looked great when it was working.
That's cool. I didn't get to watch any of it.
I actually boxing is not known for their set pieces and their stages, but I did really appreciate the LED tunnel that looked like it was used in All In at Wembley last year. I thought that looked really sick, and I'm kind of curious to see what WWE is going to do for their stage, because they are a stage people. They're this whole big show because they have to be. They had like a little LED ramp, which is cool too, which I never understood why WWE got rid of. I kind of liked that.
I didn't like it.
I kind of liked it. I thought the LED floor was cool.
I could live with it.
So there's that too. Everything else was standard boxing. Like it looked fine, but it looked like standard boxing. But I thought that was super interesting. I know on commentary we had more Ronaldo. So it was wonderful to hear.
That's wild.
It was wonderful to hear Mauro again on primetime fighting. That was awesome. He does some occasional stuff for UFC, and I do believe he was doing occasional boxing matches. I do think he did a Pacquiao. I think he did the Floyd McGregor boxing match that happened quite a few years back. I think that was him on the call as well. So Mauro Ronaldo, of course, is a very credible, very wonderful voice to listen to for combat fighting. Despite some of his references,
Mamma mia.
That I'm okay with. Some of his pop culture references were getting a little much for me. I was like, come on, dog, shut up.
Yeah, they were a little too on the nose.
It's Mauro Ronaldo, though. We love him anyway. So that was fun. Netflix, for that matter, WWE did get a shout out because he was promoting Raw. There was a level promoting Raw. I don't think anybody was there that we saw. I mean,
I don't think so.
Wrestlers were there. People were there, both from WWE and AEW.
We did see we did see the logo for Raw on Netflix, and it looks ugly.
Oof.
Ugly.
So it fits the style that they're going for right now with
it looks worse than the custom
with the Smack Sound logo right now. So
I think it looks worse than the graphics that people have made on Facebook as clickbait. So I'm just saying.
It is what it is there, but I guess the real conversation that we're going to have is hopefully Netflix, because this has nothing to do with WWE. Hopefully Netflix can fix their shit. So the next trial run for Netflix, again, this is going again away from sports. I don't know if you knew this, but there are currently a couple of Christmas games being played for the NFL that are going to be streaming on Netflix, to my knowledge. I didn't know about this until this same pay-per-view. So while they were pumping up Raw, they were pumping up the NFL on Christmas. So if you give me 2 seconds.
While you're doing that, I'm looking at an article right now. Fightful Select is reporting that WWE sources claimed they had been given assurances that any glitches would be minimal in terms of Netflix, Raw and Netflix, highlighting the audience numbers and suggesting that facing such live stream traffic would be a favorable issue. So they're basically trying to say that, like, glitches
and say, whoops, my bad.
They're basically trying to shine up a turd, is what they're trying to do.
They're definitely shining up turds. That's kind of what we're.
They're like, oh yeah, well, like, you won't have as big of an audience, but still, even if you did have those bad things happening, that's actually a good thing.
For that matter, the NFL is, as I'm looking through stuff right now, the NFL is also not thrilled with Netflix right now. So not only has Netflix kind of always somehow lived in the red and lived, both in their logo and in their numbers, their money numbers, but it does look like that the NFL is a little worried as well. So hopefully Netflix can get it together, because realistically, this is where sports are headed, right? This is where all sports are headed. There's a deal between not WB. There's a WB I don't think exists anymore. Oh wait, no, they don't. Yeah, they do. There's a deal with HBO Max and AEW that's supposed to be rolling out next year as well. Yep. Which again, I'm super pumped for, because I want to be able to watch AEW better, and I want to be able to see their PLEs. So
it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It really is. Continues to be good.
I mean, but and all of sports are going this way. NFL on Netflix is huge, right? We already know that the NFL doesn't play nice, man. They don't. They love local cable. They really do. Like, I think it's criminal that in Philadelphia you can't watch certain games. Like, we just don't get them. Half the time in Philly, you don't get the fucking Ravens game, which is down I-95, like, and that's an hour away. Like, it's weird how they've been able to pull that off for so long. So I'm appreciative that not only the WWE recognizes that, and they've been ahead of the curve on streaming and mass distribution of pay-per-view on by themselves without a distributor, and then everybody else is starting to catch up. The NBA and I believe the NHL are on HBO as well. So this is super interesting that everybody really hates Netflix right now, and that they need to fix that.
They do need to fix that. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, they definitely do need to fix that. It's I'm intrigued. I'm scared, but at the same time, it's out of my hands. They've already done this. They've already been down the road. They're already here. They can't back out of the contract. It's just got to be like, we got to wait and see what happens and how Netflix will respond. Again, I don't see WWE having 100 million viewers watching Raw. So I'm just going to hope that with the 4 million they get on average, it's still usable and still enjoyable. I'm sure it will be.
So Netflix has two chances to get it right. They have the Chiefs and the Steelers, who are both massively good teams and massively important teams to the NFL right now, as both of them are very high in their divisions. And the Baltimore Ravens and the Texans, which should be a shootout. Two wonderful quarterbacks, two fantastic offenses. Like, so that's all. So those are massive games for for the NFL. And the last thing they want is streaming issues from Netflix when they could have just put it on Fox.
Very true.
Because they're just gonna go, bruh,
what are you doing?
Like, we could have done this on Fox because Fox wasn't doing anything. It's Christmas. No one's doing anything. So
very true. Very true.
Moving away from the streaming issues, the fight itself. Ty, did you actually watch the fight?
I didn't get to watch anything. I had work that night, and I haven't been home till today.
So there were a couple decent fights. The fight right before the women's fight, I think he was a Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Super dope. Ended in a draw. Fucking horrible call. And I'm not even a boxing guy, and I know that guy won. I could see that.
Wow.
Stevie Wonder could have saw that shit.
Wish you were here to see this now.
The women's fight was awesome. From what I saw, the girl's eyebrow was literally falling off.
Oh, Taylor Serrano.
Yeah, dude. Did you see the pictures? Like,
nah.
Dude, like her whole eye was like here, like it was down to her fucking nose. Like, it was nasty.
Were you talking about Barrios Ramos for the other match that happened before the women's? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, not a huge boxing guy, but
yeah.
It was what it was. Some people came over by the main event, so I was awake and sprightly and ready for the night at midnight. As pay-per-view fights tend to not start their main card till about 8 or 10, depending on what it is, and then we'll go for fucking ever. It is the nice thing about WWE is you can literally time it.
I'm looking at the oh, dude.
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
Eyebrow, dude, completely split open. That's crazy.
Done for. She got cracked.
That's deep too.
And I think she came back at one point too, and people thought she was gonna win. So, fucking nuts, man. But what the reason we were all there, of course, was Mike Tyson and
the main event.
Paul. Earlier in the night, we saw Mike Tyson's ass.
Oh, I did see that on Twitter. With the interview. Did he turn around and he just did the interview and
all they had to do was raise they kept the camera there. They didn't even raise it like the oh shit my bad. They just kept it there. Like, bro, I mean, it was there for all of 3 seconds. It faded so back to the ring because they were probably like fuck.
Quick, go.
Please switch. Oh man, so
funny.
Seeing some bare ass Mike Tyson was not on my bingo card for this year.
For free?
But it was. I mean, Netflix isn't free, so
in this economy,
it's not free. Netflix is not free. It's like a $10.99 subscription.
Nah, yeah, you're right. It's more than that, bro. It's like $20 a month.
14 or whatever for the cheaper one. The actual fight was what it was. It was bad. Like,
right?
It was
boring.
Mean, it really wasn't nothing there. It was 8 rounds, which already disappointed me because I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tyson looked great in round 1.
Yeah, I heard that he was really good in the beginning, and then
round 2 happened, and then it didn't get much better after round 2.
Yeah,
it actually got worse. It got much worse.
Do you think the fight was rigged?
So that's the prevailing question, right? Obviously, I would love to believe that boxing is on the up and up. However, something like this is just too good to be true, and I put WWE logic into it. So the WWE logic of this is Jake Paul is going to make way more money for celebrity boxing and for boxing in general than a 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You want to look at it that way. Mike Tyson is Sting.
No, it's true. What happens? What
happens if Jake Paul gets knocked out?
What happens if Jake Paul loses decisively? That's it. He's never going to have a career again. No one's going to want to watch his matches, or at least way less people are going to want to watch his matches. It's not going to be a pop culture thing. It's just going to be a boxing fan or a Jake Paul thing, which aren't very big sections of the population.
That is not getting you money the way that Jake Paul is currently getting you money.
Right, exactly. So, the way, it's simple logic, right? Mike Tyson would have won. It would have been it for Jake Paul. His career would have been over. Instead,
and Mike Tyson wasn't getting paid to get knocked out. I truly believe he wasn't going to get knocked out.
Exactly.
So what's the answer then? Decision. And by that point, who cares?
And you just got to fight enough to survive and look like you're actually trying. And even then, that was debatable that they looked like they were actually trying from what I heard. So
it was what it was, but it was cool even in a perhaps scripted, perhaps controlled, maybe controlled's the better word.
Okay.
A controlled environment to watch at least a decent round out of Mike Tyson in 2024 for especially those of us who know of his legendary status but have never seen it.
Right.
And so and I know that was only the tip of the iceberg of what he is and was capable of, but still very cool to see, regardless, as a fan of combat sports.
That's great.
The next day, having John Jones also fight.
Didn't Mike Tyson also call out Logan Paul in the post match as well?
He did, and then Logan Paul said he would whoop his ass, and I was like, Logan Paul, stay the fuck away.
Damn.
I looked at him and I was like, relax. Go right back to where you were supposed to be. Go right back. Go back to
WWE.
Go back to pro wrestling. Stay where you are. Because you're a really good fucking pro wrestler.
Yeah, dude.
Just relax yourself.
That's fair.
I think one of the crazy things is that Jake Paul is a year and 2 days older than myself to the day.
Wow.
He was the 17th.
Yeah, Logan's the older brother, right?
Logan's the older one, and Logan hasn't hit 30 yet. So
Jake looks older to me. I don't know why.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
But neither of them are 30.
Yeah.
Paul turns 28 in January.
That's crazy.
I turn 27 in January, and Logan turns 30 next year sometime, I think.
That's pretty wild.
So it's kind of insane how much business they can give to both I want to say it's WBC and the WWE.
Yeah.
And pro wrestling and pro boxing. So it's pretty incredible.
It is.
So there was no reason for Jake Paul to get knocked out here. It's just not good business.
And it wasn't for any title. It was a professional boxing match, but as far as I know, it was an exhibition match. Like, it wasn't for any kind of clout or like positioning in world title rankings and contention.
No.
So it's like, yeah. So, you know, they didn't really need to play by the rules. So it wouldn't shock me if they did rig it.
Yeah. If you bet the over on the rounds, and if you bet the decision result, you should put a lot of. I hope you put a lot of money on it. I hope you did.
Yep.
I wanted to put so much money on it, but then I had to drive to the line, and I didn't want to do that.
That's fair.
I'm outside of Philly, but to give, because I said I'm from Philly earlier.
Oh yeah, gambling, sports betting.
So I gotta cross the line. I don't get to live in Mass where you get to just sports bet.
Where we can be degenerates and do drugs. We can't do psychedelic drugs in Massachusetts legally anymore at the moment.
We can do drugs.
We had a ballot.
I don't know about psychedelics.
No, the election this year, we had one of the state questions was a thing about psychedelic drugs on the ballot. It was like mushrooms and shit, and like other shit, like certain like psychedelic stuff, but mostly mushrooms, which is interesting. That did not pass.
This is a wrestling pod.
Who cares? We're an hour and a half in. We got anything else? You want to do some best in wrestling?
I think I'm good.
I feel good as well. All right, I've been so excited to talk about my best in wrestling, and you almost fucking spoiled it. It's my man, Big Daddy Mark, because this guy, if you haven't seen Big Daddy Mark, you have to go check him out. He seems like such a nice freaking dude. He's got like 16 million followers on TikTok, and he's famous for just operatic singing songs that should not be sung operatically. And for some reason, he has a very large cult following in the wrestling community because he sings a lot of wrestling entrance themes. He got really viral from singing Triple H's theme, and that's what I did earlier. Time to play the game! Ha ha ha! Yeah, so that's that. He sings Shawn Michaels as well. Sexy boy, I'm not your boy toy. Just like that, with the extra vibrato and everything. But he also sings Fiend and other hilarious like hip hop rap songs. It was great. And in Massachusetts in particular, in the Boston area, there is a indie promotion called Beyond Wrestling, and they had a show called The Wrestling Open, and it's like their general, weekly television type equivalent, like Raw and SmackDown equivalent. And they had Big Daddy Mark as a guest performance. It was his first performance in Massachusetts, and it looked like so much fun, and apparently he got into an angle with a heel wrestler there. I don't know what happened. I just saw him post that he got into his first pro wrestling feud. The guy's fucking huge. If they wanted to train him to be a wrestler, he probably could. But yeah, he came out and sang Fiend, 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 and he went absolute crazy. Yeah, I think it's genius that wrestling indie feds are trying to bring him into their promotions to do performances and shit. He did a bar show. He did like a concert at a bar. Oh my god, dude! I wish I was able to go to that. It was some random concert in like Ohio or New York or something. or somewhere like that, some random state in a random bar. Hilarious. So that's my best in wrestling this week. It's Big Daddy Mark. You should go check him out if you haven't already. We made the right guy famous. That's like the most liked comment on every one of his TikToks.
All right, so my best in wrestling this week, and we didn't even talk about it. We skipped right over it. I was trying to get to it, and then we started talking about other things in this storyline, so we kept moving. So my best in wrestling this week is after the Bloodline beatdown happens. Roman Reigns goes back to the locker room, and he's sad, and he looks sad.
He looks so disheveled because after he got his ass beat.
His hair is all over the place.
Yo, I forgot to mention while we talk about that.
No.
I was just gonna say Jacob and Bronson together is fucking scary as hell.
That's a duo.
That is a duo. Sorry.
So
continue.
Roman now sits alone, sad, stares at his phone. Every male has done it. We've all done it.
Do I call her?
And he goes, and this is great. This is multi-layered funny. There's multi-layered funny.
Yeah, dude, many layers to this comedy.
So he goes, call wise man. Big pop.
Oh my God.
The number you were dialed has been disconnected.
So
also relatable, but hold on.
I know.
There's another layer of something that's funny to this joke.
There is.
If you pay attention to Roman's thumbs while he's telling Siri,
he's tapping the screen.
He's tapping the screen.
He's playing the soundbite. He's playing the soundboard. I saw that too.
To call.
Why would he do the Siri voice? Why would he do the Siri voice command just to tap the screen and do the thing?
Well, they've been doing that because Paul does it too, but Paul doesn't do the thumb. I like that Roman had to actually call something, and you'd have to. So whatever.
Fair.
But anyway, so that's so. The actual part of that is the pop for the wise man, and we're coming back. We're bringing the plot back.
Yep.
We're bringing who we need back. Because nobody can make the call because everybody fucking wants kind of different. No, they're on the page. They're in the same book.
Yeah.
They're not on the same page.
Right. And the cliffhanger made people think like, oh, like Paul blocked Roman. Paul's not trying to talk to Roman. But one thing that I saw brought up is that I forgot about it, and I'm sure most of you did too. A few months ago, before Solo took out Paul went to call Roman, and Solo grabbed his phone and smashed his phone. But, however,
that's awesome.
While that is pretty cool, two things. One,
that doesn't disconnect a number.
Roman has more than one phone, and two, exactly, that doesn't disconnect another number. You don't think when Paul got his phone smashed,
he didn't have 70 other phones?
Yeah, you also thought he didn't immediately go to the T-Mobile or the Verizon or whatever to go be like, I need a new phone, and like attach the old number to it. Like, he absolutely did that. Come on, it's 2024. Everyone has a cell phone. Come on.
Anyway. But we love all of that. We love Roman sitting there sad, doing the male gaze at the phone of "Do I call her?" We love the block. We love the number that it doesn't answer. We love the joke that he's hitting the buttons that we can see as he's saying "Call the wise man."
He's playing the soundboard.
Fair enough. Whatever. All of it's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to the wise man. We know Paul Heyman's coming.
Yep.
Probably the week of Survivor Series, if not Survivor Series itself, which maybe is where we bring Punk. However, the obvious option is still Seth. So that's what we're going with.
Seth.
That's wrestling for you right now.
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Let him cook.
That's the thing. That's been the whole year. Is the shut up. We're staying the course.
It's been hard because there have been times where I want to buck the trend and be like, this isn't it. This isn't the move. But at the end of the day, I'm always humbled by Triple H at the end of it.
It's logical booking.
It is logical booking.
There isn't some logical angle. Like, I haven't seen anything yet where you can't find a logical angle.
Yeah. There's usually something. It's just
you may not like the logic, but that's why they're letting you invest in characters more than bad guys and good guys. So that's the point.
Which I love that because it also allows for more flexibility on what they can do.
It keeps it open. They're just people.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of.
And it makes it realistic.
I mean, some of them like dress up in like weird masks and
it's still real to me, damn it,
and shit.
Yeah, man. But yeah. I think that's gonna do it for this week. But it's been a real pleasure, everybody. We really appreciate it. Maybe we'll post some shit because this felt like a really fucking good episode. We might have to actually post some shit on TikTok this week, if I can find time in my life. Help. Yeah, appreciate it. While I'm talking about TikTok, go follow us there at Vacant Wrestling. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, leave a comment, favorite part of the video, your prediction for the 5th guy on the War Games team for the OG Bloodline. Let us know. Yeah, and go find our podcast everywhere you look for podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. But until next time, y'all. He's Emil. I'm Tyler. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all soon.
Bear down.
Yay!